The authors of the technical writings. An author is the writer of an article, reports, or the thesis. It is one of the most important informations regarding the technical writing. Normally, the authors of the technical writings are made clear to the reader as a mechanism to distinguish and to trace and research article. The name of the authors normally will be placed in the first page of the journal paper or at the cover page of the thesis. In the first page of the journal paper, the names of the authors will appear immediately after the title. Whenever we read the research article, we need to observe the author as well, knowing the persons who actively involved in the relevant field of study. This helps us to trace the other publications produced by the authors related to the field of study. Normally, there is a standard ways to present the names of the authors, and we observe that there is a lot of confusions among the students dealing with citing the names of the authors, as well as provide the list of the references at the end of the respective technical writing. One of the things that easily being confused is the first name and the last name of the author. The first name is the given name to that particular person, while the last name will be the family name or the surname of the person. Normally, under the casual situations, we address the person by his first name. However, for the formal situations, the last name or the family name will be used. It is dependent on one's upbringing. For me, as a non-native English speaker, we seldom encounter the term of first and last name in our daily life. Personally, I am more familiar with the surname, family name, and the name of a person. I may sometimes confuse with the first name and the last name. You may be so as well. You may think of a simple rules that how the Western people address the name. Normally, the name comes first will be the first name, which is the name of the person, and then the name after the first name will be the last name, which is his family name. The table here shows us some examples of the first and the last name by the ethnicity. We have Malay, Chinese, Indians, and others. For an example, Ali Abdul Rahman is a Malay name. Ali will be the name of the person, and Abdul Rahman will be the name of his family, specifically his father's name. Sometimes you also see their name written in the form of Ali bin Muhammad Hassan. This bin here gives you an idea which is the first name, which is the last name. Ali will be the first name, and Muhammad Hassan, it will be the last name. These are typical examples of the name of male Malay. Sometimes we see the name in the form of Binti in the middle, or sometimes being written in Binti. When you see this, you know that this is the name of a female Malay. This Binti will separate the first name and the last name, where you know that Fatima is the first name and Ahmed will be the last name. Next, let us look at the Chinese. Taking this Tan Bilen as an example, Tan is the surname of the person. Bilen will be the name of the person. Therefore, In this case, Bileng will be the first name and Tan will be the last name. The sequence is slightly opposite from the sequence as implied by the first and the last name. You just need to know how to identify the surname of the person. Then you will know that the surname will be the last name of the person. Let us look at another example. David Teo Ziwei. Some Chinese has their Christian name in front of their entire name, which in this case is David. If you look carefully on the name, you know that the Teo here is the surname. Teo Ziwei is a translation of their Chinese name, which give a similar pronunciations to their actual Chinese name. And David here is his Christian name. Having knowing that the Teo is the surname, Teo will be considered as the last name, and the first name will be David Ziwei. We need to be careful in addressing the name of the authors, providing correct information to the reader regarding the authors of the articles that you are referring. Normally in the citations, only the last name will be addressed. If you use the first name to address the person, you may give a wrong perceptions regarding the authors who actually doing the publications. The reader might be misled and unable to acquire the relevant publications. And then let us look at the Indians. The name here is Lakshmi Ramasamy. Lakshmi will be the first name and Ramasamy will be the last name. Sometimes you see the name in the format of Ravi, son of Ramasamy. This S/O represents the son of. That means this person is a male Indian. His name is Ravi and his family name is Ramasamy. Let us look at another example. Devi, daughter of Rajaratnam. The D/O represents the daughter of. That means this person is a female. Devi will be her name. Rajaratnam will be her last name, her family name. As for the other ethnicities, such as Jacob Wheeler, you know that Jacob will be the first name, Wheeler will be the last name. Or you encounter a name called Ao Myo Luin. You may not be familiar with this name. Probably you never encounter this name. Sometimes it can be quite confusing, which is the first name and which is the last name. How many words for the first name and how many words for the last name. Before you do the citations, if possible, you check from the internet, type in the full names of the author, searching for he or her profile in order to acquire the idea which is the first name and which is the last name. Nowadays, the names of the researchers are easily traceable as long as the person remains active within the research community, doing publications for any journals papers or conference papers, or the person is working as a lecturer in any of the university. You can still trace the person. There are a lot of platforms and social medias for you to trace the respective authors. Most of the journals, especially those which are serious about the research, will have all these informations properly indexed. You may still trace the respective authors, even for the publications which have been done long time ago. In the chapters regarding the ethics, we know that we need to give credits to all the works contributed by the authors. Definitely, we will need to cite their works as a credit to them if we adopt their works in our research study. We should also pay respect to them by spending some effort to acquire their first and their last name so that we don't confuse the reader their names. Even though we may not be familiar with the structures of their name due to different ethnicity, we are still able to search for relevant information through the internet. Next, we will discuss about the sequence of the authors. Normally, in the first page of the journal's paper, when there is more than one author, you will see several names in sequence. Normally, the first author will contribute most and also receive most of the credits. You know that the first author will be the main contributor to the research study. Most likely, the major part of the research articles is written by the first author. Then, the positions of the sequential authors can be decided by the contributions, alphabetical order, or reverse seniorities, depending on the agreements among the authors. I'm not sure about the alphabetical orders. I guess the sequence for the contributions and reverse seniority would be more common. Presumably, the arrangement in accordance to the contributions will be the most common. At least for myself, most of the time I will arrange in accordance to the level of contributions. Next, you also encounter a word which is the corresponding author. In most of the journal's papers, there will be only one name for the corresponding authors. This corresponding authors is not necessarily be the first author, but we see in most of the cases, the corresponding author will be the first author. By definitions, there is an explicit difference between the first author and the corresponding author. The first author represents the authors that contribute the most for that particular research article, while the corresponding author is the person who takes primary responsibility for communicating with the journal intended to publish in. That means he will deal directly with the journals, going through the entire process, registering a manuscript, providing the relevant informations, doing the submissions, receiving the comments from the reviewers and the editors, and proceed with resubmissions until complete the publication process on the matters dealing with the journals. That will be the corresponding authors. Next will be the affiliations. Normally, in the first page of the journal's paper, you will see the title at the top, followed by the authors, and then immediately these affiliations will appear. It provides information of the institutions each author belongs to, giving an idea which institutions is offering the contributions in the field of the study as well. These affiliations of the authors are typically arranged in the sequence of department, university, city, and country. If you have the authors from different institutions or different countries, there will be a reference system as given by the guideline of the journals to clearly indicate which author is from which institutions. These informations are normally provided by the corresponding author during the submissions of their manuscript for the review of the journals.